Hello friends, this video on nutrition in plants part 3 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. What are the different modes of nutrition for plants? So how do they get nutrition? How do they obtain their food? Now, not only plants, any organisms, if you talk about any living organism, there are basically two modes of nutrition. And what are those two modes? Autotrophic and heterotrophic. So these are the two basic modes of nutrition for all living organisms. Now when I say auto means self. So autotrophic nutrition is that type of nutrition where the organism is self-dependent. That means the organism prepares its own food. So it is not dependent on any other living organism for its food. So that is autotrophic. When we say heterotrophic, hetero means others. So that means the organism depends on other organisms. So depends on other organisms for their food. Now you might say that now let's take example of human beings. So what do you think? Human beings are autotrophic or heterotrophic? Now you might say that we prepare our own food. So we prepare the vegetables, we cook the vegetables, we prepare chapati. So we prepare our own food. But if you look at the raw materials which you use in your kitchen, so do you think you prepare those raw materials yourself? You either use vegetables which are obtained from plants, or you use some fruits which are again obtained from plants, or you use some other animals like fish or egg or meat. So they are obtained from other animals. So basically we are dependent either on plants or on other animals for our food. So we fall under the heterotrophic category. So we have a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. But there are living organisms which have autotrophic mode of nutrition as well. And the best example is plants. So first we will talk about autotrophic nutrition. So again, autotrophic nutrition, as we said, that it is seen in plants, because plants, they prepare their own food starting from raw materials. So they just prepare their own food. They do not depend on any other living organism for their food. Instead, all other living organisms depend on plants for their food. Now in autotrophic nutrition also, there can be two types of plants. One is photosynthetic plants. So these category of plants, they perform the process of photosynthesis to prepare their food. So photosynthesis, photo means light. So they prepare their food in presence of sunlight. So that is one category. The other category is chemosynthetic. What is chemosynthetic? Chemo means chemicals. So here with the help of chemicals, they prepare their food. So basically these are the two categories of plants. However, both of them prepare their own food. So they are autotrophic. So now it is not necessary that all plants have to be autotrophic. There are few plants which are heterotrophic, that is they depend on other plants or animals for their food. Again, there are few plants which are again saprotrophic or parasitic. So we are going to talk about all those types, but majority of plants are autotrophic. So they prepare their own food. So this is true for majority of the plants. So examples of organisms which have autotrophic nutrition are plants, some algae, bacteria. So these are all autotrophic nutrition. Next is heterotrophic, that is those which depend on others for their food. So as I gave you example of human beings. Now heterotrophic organisms can be saprophytic. What do we mean by saprophytic? That means they eat dead and decaying organisms. So those organisms which eat dead and decaying, so some dead bodies, so they are eaten by organisms, they are called saprophytic. Parasitic, that means they live inside the body of some other organism and obtain its food from that organism. So if you think of examples like the worms, there are several worms which live inside our intestine, right? So those worms, they derive their food from our body. So that means they are heterotrophic. But in heterotrophic, what is their type? Parasitic, because they are living inside the body of another living organism. So the worm is living inside the body of human beings. So they are parasitic. So there is another type called holozoic. Holozoic is nothing but those heterotrophic organisms which take in solid food. So intake of solid food happens in these organisms. So human beings have heterotrophic and they have holozoic type of nutrition because we take in solid food. Solid in the sense solid liquid food. We take in food through our mouth, which is in the form of some substance. So animals, humans, fungi, insectivorous plants, these are all examples of heterotrophic nutrition. So here you see these insectivorous plants. That means these plants, they feed on insects. So they also have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In fact, there are some other plants also which are not capable of performing photosynthesis. They are not capable of preparing their own food. So they are also heterotrophic. So basically these are the two main modes of nutrition. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.